Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mike from M&R Automotive. Today we have a 2024 and up Toyota Tacoma, and we installed a 30-inch either Slim or Pro Series light bar. We're going to remove this plastic trim piece on top of the radiator support, as well as this plastic trim piece on the intake. This one is held by 8 push pins. This one is 4. The way you remove these push pins is actually by pressing down on them. So when you press down from the top down, it unclips, and then you can just get it out. So these 8 have been removed, so I can lift up and put this away. All right, so now the one with the intake tube. There's 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 4 of them removed, we can go ahead and lift this up. On the passenger side, there's 3 harnesses, 1, 2, and 3. We're going to disconnect them. I'm going to squeeze the top and pull them apart. That's 1. And this one, squeeze and pull. And the third one's on the bottom, squeeze and pull. So now we can remove the 3 10mm bolts that are holding the grille from the top. The driver's side wheel well, we're going to remove 3 10mm bolts. There's 1 on the bottom, 1 here, and if you feel it, there's 1 vertical. So now we see these 2 clips here. They have slots and they're in vertical position now, which means they're locked. We're going to move them from vertical to horizontal. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver just to kind of unlock them and bring them out. Those are 2 pins. We can peel back the inner fender and separate it. There's a tab on the bottom. I have my index finger on it. If you push on it, there's a little unlock, so that way when you unlock it, you can push it out. So there's a little tab that you're trying to push towards the back of the truck. So I'm going to reach in here, press on it, and kind of take it out. With the bottom clip unlocked, you can go ahead and pull on it, and it just comes off. So now there's a bolt here that we have to remove. It's a Phillips. So now we got to pull in the corner to disconnect the fender from the bumper. Now we can do the same thing on the passenger side. So on the passenger side, we're going to do the same thing. 3 10mm screws. So align these clips horizontally, and we can take these out. Now we can peel back the inner liner. So I'm going to find the clip on the bottom. I'm going to press towards the back of the truck to unlock it. And now we can just pull on it, and everything comes off. And just like the driver's side, there's a little screw here, Phillips screw, that we're going to remove. I'm going to pull on this side so that way it unclips. We're going to remove this air dam. There's 5 10mm bolts in the front and then 2 on each side. There's 4 more 10mm bolts. 1 of them is under the fender liner in the corner. There's 1 black one right here. Pull on the front grille. For your M&R 30-inch setup, you get your choice of either a Slim or a Pro Series light bar, 2 brackets that go onto the light bar, 2 back plates, and you get all the mounting hardware. So no matter which set you purchase, the installation is identical. First, we're going to install the side brackets onto the light bar. They're identified with a P&D, passenger and driver. You get to determine whether the light bar gets installed with a wire on the driver or the passenger. For our Tacoma, it does not have auxiliary switches, so we're going to be using the M&R wireless controller. So we want the wire on the passenger side next to the battery. Since we need the wire on the passenger side, I'm going to set it like this, and I'm going to attach the driver's side bracket to the side of the light bar using the supplied hardware. So I'm going to pick up the driver's side bracket, and I'm going to secure it to the light bar using the supplied hardware. One difference between the Slim and the Pro is that the Slim light bar has 1 bolt on the side of the light bar, where the Pro has 2 smaller bolts. And now it also attaches to the Pro the same way. So once again, whether you go with the Slim or the Pro, the installation is the same. And I'm using an Allen tool to secure the bolts to the bracket. Just a quick reminder, after the bracket is attached, you have a stud that's pointing towards the back of the light bar. So on the light bar side that has a wire, we're going to pass it through the opening of the bracket, and we're going to secure it with the provided hardware. And same thing with the Pro. The wire gets fed through the oval opening, and you can secure it with the supplied hardware. Before we install it on the grill, I want to show you how it's going to be assembled with the grill going through it. You're going to have a backing plate with the rubber side pointing towards the back of the grill. We're going to feed the wire through the big opening. There's going to be a grill in the middle, and we're going to have like a sandwich plate. It's a back plate from the back side of the grill, and we're going to secure this all with a provided 1/4-inch nut. On the other side that doesn't have a wire coming out of it, there's a large hole and a small hole. We're going to use a small hole and just feed it through the stud with the grill in the middle and just secure it. Alright, so let's go to the grill and I'm going to show you exactly how to install it. I'm going to remove this active shutter system so that way it's easier and more accessible to the bolts we're going to be using. And it's 6 10mm bolts. You can just lift up on the shutter system and put it to the side. Whenever installing the light bar, use the lower outer slot to feed your stud and wire. I'm going to start with my wire first. We're going to feed the wiring and we're going to align the light bar to press up against the front grill. So here's our wire and here's the stud for the mounting. So now I'm going to use the mounting plate on the rubber side towards the grill to secure it. I have the wire through the large opening already. I'm going to feed the wire through. We have the wire going through the larger opening and we have the smaller opening that's designed for the stud. We're going to use supplied hardware in order to assemble it. I'm only going to tighten it a little bit because I still wanted to be able to adjust left and right in order to center the light bar before we make the final tie downs of these nuts. On the driver's side, we don't have any wire to worry about, so we're just going to install the mounting plate through the small opening and secure it. So usually the way I align it, I use these 2 middle bolts and I align them with the Toyota logo, which is centered. So on the 30-inch slim, there's 28 LEDs. So the way I'm centering it, I'm going to use 14 on each side, and I'm just going to line that up with a Toyota symbol. Now I'm going to tighten the back bolts. So pay attention, don't over tighten these 2 side bolts. It's nice thick plastic, but if you over tighten it and keep tightening it, it might snap the plastic overall. So you just want to make sure that it's nice and snug and it's not moving, and that's how it's installed properly. So here's the 2 base plates that we installed, and they do have rubber on each side so it doesn't damage your grill. Now, with the light bar installed, we can reinstall the active shutter system. I'm going to reuse the same bolts that we removed. And I do want to show you that the louvers, you can still open them and close them without interfering with our light setup. Alright, so with the light bar installed on the front end, we can install it back on the truck. Follow reverse disassembly instructions to put everything back together. So now that we have the front end back on the vehicle and the wiring's in the engine bay, let's go ahead and wire it. If your vehicle comes with factory auxiliary switches, you can connect the power cables of the light bar directly to your factory aux switches. If your vehicle is not equipped with factory auxiliary switches, such as the one we're working on today, you can use the M&R wireless controller. Let me show you how to assemble it. So let me show you what you get with the wireless 2.0 kit. 2 power cables, a ground cable, the ACC wire, some terminal contacts and mounting hardware, M&R remote, 100 amp fuse, the actual module, mounting zip ties. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, let's open up the module. So we're going to take out these 4 Allen screws. So now we can take off the cover. Looking at this module, you have a couple things you want to notice. There's a positive terminal, there is a negative terminal. You have 8 different circuits, and they're all labeled here with auxiliary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, with appropriate amp fuses, and you also get 3 trigger wires. If you choose to use the ACC wire, you would plug it in onto the first terminal here. ACC, all it does is when you get ignition, it'll turn on, it'll wake up the unit if it goes into sleep mode. We actually don't use it. The unit wakes up on its own if it feels that your battery is fully charged. So the ACC wire, this one's optional. So let me show you how to assemble the fuse, and we're going to connect that to the positive terminal. So you have 2 terminals. You have one that goes towards the battery, you have one that goes towards the module, and there's a brake button in here. So if you press this button, it actually disengages power going through it. So I like to actually reset it and then turn it on towards the end of our install. So reset, and let's connect the 2 power terminals. So one of them is labeled BAT. That's going to be the one that goes towards the battery. So I'm going to take one of the power cables. I'm going to slide it under this nut, and I'm going to tighten it. So the side that says BAT here, that's going to go towards the battery. On the second side, it says AUX, load. So this is the side that you want towards your module. So same thing, I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to slide the terminal underneath the nut, and I'm going to tighten it. So the side where it says load, we're going to connect this terminal onto the positive terminal of the module. So I'm going to slide it underneath. The main reason you want to slide it underneath here is because there's going to be a cover on top. We're going to loosen the BAT positive terminal, and we're going to put this wire with the fork under this bolt. So now I'm going to tighten it. So now we have a power to the cable. This end is going to be connected to the positive terminal of the battery. We're going to do the same thing with a ground, which is the thin wire. And this ground only operates the module, so you cannot connect other grounds to it like your light bar accessories. We're going to take this, slide it under as well. We're going to loosen this terminal. And we're going to tighten it. So now we have assembled a power, ground, and an inline fuse. Just a reminder, after you have everything connected to the battery, positive and negative terminal, unless you put the switch in line, there's not going to be any power going through it. So this is the off position, and this is the on position. So now we can go ahead and install this on the truck. So now we're in the engine bay, and this leaves us with two wires, a positive and a negative. So we're going to connect the positive first to the battery. This is the positive end of the battery. I'm going to loosen this nut. I'm going to slide our terminal underneath it, and I'm going to secure it. So we tighten that. We'll do the same thing on the ground, which is the negative terminal. When you connect the positive and the ground of the module, there is a green light in the corner that's going to light up, and this shows you that the module is connected properly. So now we can connect our light bars directly to the module. Alright, so now let's talk about our light bar wiring. If you purchase the Pro Series light bar that has two functions, or a dual function slim light bar, you're going to have three wires. You're going to have a red wire, which is the positive to the main function. You're going to have a black wire, which is the ground. And you also have a white wire. The white wire is the amber backglow. If you purchased a slim single function light bar, you're only going to have two wires, a positive and a ground. So in this case, we're going to provide two separate switches for this light bar, so that way you can have the main function as well as the amber backlighting. So we're going to provide two power wires, one for the red and one for the white. Alright, so now that I've isolated two of the power wires, I'm going to slide them in from the bottom of the panel. There's an opening here, and the main reason why I want to do it from the bottom is because there's going to be a cover on top, so this is going to be the only access. And I'm going to use two different switches. So I'm going to install the red wire, which is the main function, on switch number 1. And I'm going to install the white wire, which is the backglow. I'm going to install it on switch number 5. Alright, so that leaves us with a black cable. For the black cable, we just have to ground it, and we can use the negative terminal on the battery. I'm just going to put an eyelet on it and crimp it. And we're going to loosen this nut, slide this onto the terminal, and secure it. I want to make sure we have a nice contact for both of these grounds, and that the green light is still on. So in terms of securing the module, there's two holes here, and you can see them from the back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drill two small holes on top of the fuse box cover, and we're going to secure it with bolts going through it. And another option, if you don't want to secure it to the top of the fuse box cover, you can also use supplied zip ties. There's ears on the sides, and you can secure it to the battery tray bracket. Let me show you the Pro Series light bar. With one of the buttons, we have the amber backglow. It's a low intensity amber that you can drive around town with. And with a flip of a switch, it turns into powerful off-road light. And this is our slim line. So this is a amber light bar. It actually puts out amber light on the road. It's available in either powerful amber, powerful white, or a powerful white with a low intensity amber backglow. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got the confidence that you need to install these products yourself. I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. Please check out our night output video so that way we can show you exactly how much light you expect with this product.